We don't have to do it that way now because we don't have
live.
a song. The next time we do this, we could actually have the song queued up.
Yeah, we could do that.
I was thinking about that last night, and I just thought of it now.
Well,
But
you know what I should do?
because you could play the whole song while we're waiting, you know.
Shoot up.
Yeah, we could.
You want to do
And
that?
at
You know what else
the
I should do is probably start talking into a fucking microphone, huh?
Yeah, that would help.
That would help.
That way,
Jamie, talk
I
to
mean,
your
yeah,
microphone.
that way our viewers
Yeah.
know what I'm saying.
Sure.
Yeah, what I should do is I think I could just make a video, and then just be playing it, and we'll run that as a scene, and
Yeah.
we'll go live just with the video playing with our logo or something and the song
Cool.
going. Yeah, we got
yeah.
ideas. We got ideas. All right, now let's go over to.
All right, we're on now, right? Yep.
We are. It is streaming. It is recording. I'm gonna go to our channel. I gotta put my phone on vibrate because I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Boom and boom.
Grim 86 Freedom First podcast.
And then here. So this is okay. This is the live now. I have to edit this because this is gonna be episode 2. And here. So this is okay. This is the live now. I have to edit. Sorry, that's gonna come through the mix. I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's
Because
fine.
I always. Okay. That's good. I wanted to hear what we sounded like, so that's fine. Let's edit this.
Okay. Are we still? We're not live yet, right?
No, it's live.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
live.
is
It's
it?
live.
Okay,
Yeah,
there we go.
That's why.
There we go.
Yeah.
So season 2, episode 2.
Somebody's on the chat already.
Oh, whoa. And this is funny. In one of the links that I copied over for our last live stream, there's the offensive crayons political edition in the description. Remember when we
Yeah.
got those?
Yeah.
I'm going to take that off.
All right, stop that.
All right, and save. And then are you gonna link the podcast to Patrick or
I just did.
Okay, cool. Oh, that'd be so sick to see him in here.
Tim.
Hey, can I get your Wi-Fi password? You can come type it in if you like. Oh,
We're live.
You don't want anybody having your password. Hold on.
Well,
I'll
they
be
have
right
to
there.
be near his house to use it. Like it's not. You right.
Go behind me.
Yeah, my chair's wedged in between the wood back here and the wood on the table, so I can't move my chair. Sorry. Okay, if this starts... Okay, good. It's muted. That's good. Is there... I wonder if there's a way for me to... Pop out chat. Let's see. Oh, shit. Yeah, dude, look at this. You can pop the chat out of the thing.
Oh, separate it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I can like put it over
That's
here.
way easier.
How fucking sick.
All this
I mean,
time, we're like,
like a bunch of fucking tools. Yeah, well, we could figure this out somehow. Or should I put the chat like just on this one and put it in the middle? Okay, you like that? All right, I'll try to make it so that it's not like completely hiding us, but we'll be able to see the chats come in like that. Kind of like that, maybe ish. Looks all right. There we go. All right, there's the chat. My God, I don't think I've heard "The End of the World as We Know It" so many times.
Oh, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah,
you
it's
serious?
like they play it like
Oh my
every.
God.
They probably play it once an hour on KFox. So like every hour, I hear that fucking song if I'm listening to the radio.
It's like classic rock now? Is that what it is?
Yeah, dude. They like, dude.
Wow.
So much Green Day.
I'm not
and,
even
like,
that old. and there's
Nirvana?
my music is classic rock.
Yeah. Well, apparently it only needs to be 10 years old to be considered a classic rock.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I'm hearing a lot of Green Day and Nirvana and like Bush
Mm-hmm.
on fucking Cave. I'm like, this is so weird.
That is weird.
But it's awesome.
Yeah. It's my music. I mean, that's what I remember listening to.
Sounds
like
lame.
in the 90s. Johnny, we're just not all as cool as you are,
I
Johnny.
didn't say
We
that.
can't be. There can only be one Johnny Doe. You people out there, there's only one Johnny Doe. And he's sitting right here.
True story.
The one, the only. Corey, what's up, my man?
Yeah.
Corey's in the house. Hey, Corey. Man, I went out and did some protesting. I was thinking about you. Well, I didn't protest. I was impartial.
You were filming.
You were pressed.
Yeah,
more
I
or
was
less.
press. I was. We were doing a Grim 86 Freedom First independent media, and that's.
And the gear doesn't work now.
and we won't have any video for you guys. Maybe I'll put it out later.
You put it on the page.
I know I have. Yeah, I know I have a lot of like stills and stuff.
You still have that card out right there?
This one.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one under it somewhere. Look under your somewhere.
All right, here. There you go.
Just let me fuck with it for a little bit. While
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
this.
So yeah, that's what I did. Corey, what's up, man? It's cool.
Have you used this adapter before?
Yes.
Okay.
Still waiting for people to join.
Let's see. I didn't. Did you guys share it on Facebook?
I am right now.
Okay.
Oh, that's terrible. Don't do that.
All right, it's on there.
Okie-do.
So if you guys want to share it on your own page, you can too.
I'm
Yeah.
doing that right now as we speak.
That was cool. I saw all the memories came up today for when we did the photo shoot.
Right. I saw that post, man. That was awesome.
So the podcast was changed to Fridays. Aaron, it's kind of like we're sort of just rolling with the punches right now because my schedule keeps getting fucked and changed. So it's just, that and I didn't make it yesterday because I flaked like an asshole on these guys.
Yeah, but they didn't even know that. Viewers at home did not know that.
They didn't need to know that.
Now
I
you
just overshared.
ratted
on
on
the internet.
yourself.
Yeah, I did. I just overshared on the internet like so many other people. But yeah, we're doing it today, Friday, but it's not changed permanently yet, or maybe it is. I don't know. We don't know yet. Kind of up in the air.
Yep.
And I'm off Thursdays. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, very nice.
Is your ringer still on?
My ringer is not on. No.
Is that the computer?
It was this computer.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
That was a laptop. Yeah.
I got it. I'm turning it off.
We're doing sound effects for you guys tonight, apparently.
Yeah,
So
unintentionally.
We'll probably start in like 3 or 4
What the
minutes.
hell? What is going on here? Stop all that. Cancel it. What? It's like trying to make an ad. I must have clicked something that I didn't want to click. Yeah, it's a little unnerving.
How was your week, Chris?
It was very productive. Got a lot of stuff done. And I'm so
Tried to drop off some cans for the can drive that we're doing.
Yeah.
That didn't work out too
Yeah,
days
we
in a row.
missed that. We missed that opportunity. Yeah,
But we tried.
But there is so much canned foods that we have right now, and it's going to feed a lot of people, and that's awesome. Yeah.
I have a card reader in my old computer. If nothing else, I'll find a way to get that footage off of there.
I can do it once I get home. I should have did it last night, but I didn't do it. Cause
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Because laziness.
There we
no.
go.
I started to get frustrated
Oh.
because I couldn't edit stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Aaron,
I just have to learn the GoPro
Later, Aaron.
editing.
yeah, thanks for showing up, bud.
What happened?
And what's up, Steven?
He's going back to work.
Oh.
What
I
up,
have to go
brah?
Back to work. Oh, all right, dude. Later.
All right, well, you want to start the show?
I'm
We
down.
good to go?
What's up, Steven?
Fire away.
Are we doing the whole intro?
Well, no. Just
Oh,
saying. Do you
okay.
want to start the show?
Oh yeah, no.
The actual show?
What was that?
Remember, we have to know, because when we want to save this and actually post it later,
Right.
we need to know where we're coming in, where we can cut it to edit it to,
To make it all
post
to make it all sexy.
to make it all super cool.
Rush Hour Garage. Pew pew. Back at you, bro.
What up, brah?
Bianca, what's up? Nice to see you.
Bionks, what's up? Rush Hour Garage.
Yeah, that's our boy Chard.
Ooh, Richard.
Okay. Now my mouse over here.
Earthquake? No.
There was.
I did not feel it.
Yeah, I didn't feel it.
But
either.
I was on the road. I was on the road an hour ago, so yeah, I didn't feel it. But let me tell you
No,
this.
no, earthquakes are August. Next.
Yeah, that's
you're ahead. You're ahead of that one.
You're way ahead of schedule
yeah,
here.
you
Beyonce.
jumped the gun there.
So we back in
14.
1989, I was in that earthquake. I think I was around 13 years old, and we were driving down Monterey Street. And this is a big one. This is like the one that knocked down the Bay Bridge, and during the World Series, it was like pretty epic. So we were driving down the street. My cousin was driving. I was with 4 cousins, and I was in the very back of this station wagon. Right, you know how the station wagons have those big windows in the back.
Can you scooch that way just barely?
This way towards Jamie. Absolutely,
That's better. All right.
Absolutely. So we were driving down the street, and my cousin, he was a bodybuilder at the time. He used to train a lot of different people. Well, one of the guys he used to train was in a car behind us, right? And my cousin is like, "Hey, Chris, flip that dude off right there." So so I start flipping him off, right? He gets super pissed, dude. He gets so mad. And then so the guy
Because
jumps.
he didn't know you.
He didn't know me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know me. And then so he jumps out of his car, starts coming towards me, and my cousin, he's like 5'10". I mean, he's got a pretty solid build. He was like 220 pounds at the time, just solid muscle, right? He jumps out of the car, which doesn't mean anything. But he just looked kind of scary. So he jumped out of the car, and that other dude jumped back in his own car. And then we took off. We started laughing, and all of a sudden the car got a flat. And we're like, what the heck, dude? This is karma, right? So we pull over, and I look around, and I was like, oh, shit, we don't have a flat. There's an earthquake, and the telephone poles were swaying probably like 6 or 7 feet back and forth, dude. That was a trip.
Which one are you talking about? The 89?
89.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
89 earthquake, yeah.
I remember my dad said he was in his grandmother's house, the house that he lives in right now,
Mm-hmm.
and he was sitting in there, and I think he was holding either me or my sister, and he said he watched the seam split all the way across the roof, all the way through the kitchen.
Oh, damn,
Like, just
dude.
watched it.
Whoa. That's scary.
Because the whole house basically flexed in half.
It sounded
almost.
like you were in surround sound when you did that, because you backed away from the mic, and it
Yeah.
sounded like it went. It was a little mind game in my headphones.
Yeah. Dude, that was crazy.
It's like, how
dude.
did you do that? You said it split like this, and it was like, what?
Yeah, that was a
I was outside in my front yard in San Jose, and I was walking up the driveway from the sidewalk, and it started shaking, and I started to run to the house because I was like, oh, shit, my mom and my sister are in there, so I'm like, I'm going to go in there. And then I was like, wait, it's shaking really bad. It might fall down. So I ran away, and I'm like, wait, you can't be a little bitch. You still got to go save your family. So I'm a kid, you know? I mean, I was like 10 or 12 or something. I turned around and fucking ran back to the inside door, and then it was still going. So I came back out like your mind was just like, I don't know what to do. And I stopped, and I just looked at the street, and I saw a wave roll right through my street.
Whoa.
The cement, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
still, or the asphalt, and it was still cracked. It cracked after that. I mean, like, you know, you can see the visible damage or whatever.
Right.
And there was a Jeep driving by on Camden Avenue, and he pulled over real quick and stopped, and he got out of his Jeep as it was still shaking, and he saw the wave at the same exact time, and he just looked at me like we never met each other or whatever. He's an older guy. He just looks over at me. He's all, "Did you see that?" I'm all, "Yep." And it was just the craziest moment. And he's all right, be safe, and jumped in his vehicle and took off. It was a crazy moment.
Yeah, that was. Bianca says her dad was working in at the Gilroy Lumber Yard. It probably 84 Lumber.
No, it was Gilroy Lumber.
Was it Gilroy Lumber?
Yeah, my dad worked with her. They worked there
okay.
for 20 years.
Oh, awesome. Oh, so Gilroy Lumber. She said her dad said the same thing. The telephone poles are swaying. It was insane.
It's crazy that it says Gilroy Lumber too.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I guess nobody knows about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm just busting your balls.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, it was. I mean, it was scary, but not as scary as the 1982 earthquake. Now I'm gonna really go back.
I was gonna say the 1914 one, but
No, 1914 was
That was the worst one.
the Chicago fire.
That's when the Big Bang happened.
So I was in the 82 earthquake, and Bianca was not even. I think probably her parents weren't even dating yet back then. 82 now, because I was only I was in second or third grade, and it hit. And when it hit, I was looking outside, and you could see waves. I mean, the ground was moving like 6 feet, it seemed like. I mean, I was real young. Maybe it was only moving a few feet. But you could actually see the waves. It looked like the roads were water. It was, I mean, the school was
grab
water.
your surfboard, bro.
I was looking out, and it would just lift us up and then just, bam, drop us like so
Careful.
fucking hard. Yeah, I know. Just for a fact. It would just drop us, and that was the scariest one that I've ever been in. And they told us to jump under our tables, but all the desks fell over. So we were all like,
What do you do?
yeah, there's nothing we could do. We were stuck. And it seemed like it was
Pop quiz, hot shot.
What do you do if there's an earthquake?
All
and
the desks-
all the
desks
desks
fell
fall
over.
Where's your God now?
You're about to see him.
My favorite thing about the movie Speed is that every time he pulls his gun out, you could see he's just flexing super hard to make his forearms look hella ripped.
Like this?
Trying to. Because before that movie, he was always just kind of like a skinny weenie Keanu.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
That was his first movie
Yeah,
where he was
just
like a tough guy.
Tough guy, yeah.
Hey, can we just talk about how awesome that movie is first?
Speed is rad,
Yeah.
dude. I own it.
I love that
Speed?
movie.
With
Yeah.
Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that movie.
sorry. Not a fan.
Oh, that movie's tight, dude.
Yeah.
The first one, right? Like they had the first.
Well,
because
duh.
anyone after that was like, oh god, like okay, the concept was cool the first time, but let's
Yeah.
let it die.
Speed on a train, speed on a plane, speed on, like, you could just do it with whatever.
Yeah. See,
Speed
Richard,
on your
Richard
brain.
likes Speed. That's what's up.
Yeah.
The movie was tight as fuck.
Yep. All right, so what do we got? What do we got, guys?
So we wanted to talk about some principles and kind of recap property rights.
So our last episode 1, season
Right.
2.
Episode 1, Season 2. So we were talking about property rights and the protests and, you know, what property rights actually means. So you are your property, right, Johnny?
Self-ownership.
Self-ownership. So any violation of your person is a violation of property rights, right?
Yeah. And I want to start out before I even say anything about it. Fuck the cops. So, just going to let you guys know
Yeah.
where I stand. Fuck
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cops.
Get that out of the way
Yeah,
right
yeah,
quick.
yeah. So don't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it twisted. Now, so we were talking about the property on the last show.
Right.
And that was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And we were just saying, okay, to be a libertarian or anarcho-capitalist, you always believe in self-ownership and you believe in property.
Right.
And any way to figure out if something's right or wrong does it violate your property? And so,
Or does it violate somebody else's property?
well, sure, yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
your number one concern is yourself
Yourself,
and your own
yes.
circle, right? And your
Yeah.
your effects, your content, the property that you own, like a house or a car or your belongings or whatever, like that kind of stuff. And the same thing with your body, right? Your property, and then you're selfishly loving your friends and your family and whatever. They're your,
Right.
kind of like your property too, in a sense of like you're gonna look out for them, right? So if a protest turns into looting, it is now violating other people's property or your own, right? So that's where you can go on that. Like, hey, I'm not about that. You can protest, say whatever the hell you want, do all that. That's where I come from. I don't know what your guys' thoughts on all that whole situation is, but that's the way I use self-ownership and property rights to define if that is right or wrong, the looting end of it.
Right.
Your guys' take.
Well, so I watched a video. So it was actually Trevor Noah did a video, and throughout the course of this video, like it's a good video. The guy's very articulate and intelligent, and like he can explain his point exactly the way he wants to. But after I watched the whole thing, what I got from it was the reason why people are looting, and because he went into real deep into the whole social contract thing, which I don't agree with to begin with.
Right.
But he explained it in a way that it made sense to me. I can understand why some people, through his justification, can justify looting.
Right.
I would never agree with it because it goes against everything that I believe. That's
right,
property
and that's what
violation.
we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But hearing someone who doesn't share the same philosophy as me explain why he thinks it's okay at least gave me an avenue to see like how some people do this mental jujitsu in their head to justify some of the things that, in my opinion, are just wrong on every level, morally.
Well, it's called
whatever.
statist.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
But-
and that's what we were talking about. Johnny and I were talking about is, first off, the social contract. Let's talk about the social contract for a second. Social contract says that by birthright you are required to pay taxes because you were born in this country, that you made a contract, a social contract with the government, allowing them to tax you or use force against you. I've never signed any social contract stating that I give up my rights, my property rights, and you can violate my body. And even if I commit a crime, unless I have my own weapon or I'm using violence against the police, there's no reason for them to kill you. And I'm not advocating for police. I'm saying that the state should never be allowed to take somebody's life. That's what I'm getting at. The whole act of force is immoral. And if it's immoral, then I can't get behind it. Because the whole philosophy, for me, of libertarianism is having a moral compass. And with that moral compass, that will dictate whether something is right or wrong. And property rights on top of that, which are the same thing. I mean, it's the same exact thing. Shit, I lost my train.
Well, so for me, I wouldn't say it's about morals.
I'm not even high today, dude.
For me, I wouldn't say it's about morals. My definition of a
No.
libertarian is someone that believes in self-ownership.
Right.
And then I would go from there.
Yeah.
Expand upon it. So it's property is the
Yeah.
number one
Well,
thing
I mean,
that
but
you
everybody has some kind of
moral code and whatnot.
moral
Sure.
code, or not.
But that's
Let's
not
not
a
even say
libertarian.
moral code. Let's just say a principle for living their life.
Yeah, but
Right.
anyone has that, right?
Yeah, anybody has that.
But as a libertarian, it's self-ownership.
Well, self-ownership, but for me as a libertarian, it's also includes my moral code.
Right, and you could say it also includes Christianity and whatnot, right? Or Buddhism
Well,
or whatever it is that
yeah,
you would be, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's not what a libertarian. Like, we're just talking about the property right. This is what we're doing.
Right.
So, as far as the protests are concerned, none of us here has a problem with anyone protesting, correct?
No,
Let's just do
absolutely
that.
not.
Yeah, no, I
it's
think
all good.
I think it's necessary. Like if this is, especially with what they're doing out there, is they're trying to combat police brutality, right? And then in an amazing show of exactly that, the police in a lot of places are being the police and fucking running over protesters and knocking them over. Do you see them push that old guy down?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude.
That was fucked up, dude.
That was fucked up.
Now, are we all against looters?
I'm against looters.
Violates property, so that's I'm totally against it. Chris, your take?
I was thinking it was collateral damage. It's not collateral damage. It's I had another word for it.
Just sort of like a necessary.
Kind of
Necessary
evil. kind of a necessary destruction, or not even necessary. Like I can't think
Like
of
a
the word.
byproduct
Like
of
a
it?
byproduct
Of the environment.
of the environment. Exactly.
So for me, I say fuck around and find out.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like it's an environment of the situation, but also protecting your property is part of that equation also.
Well, property is the number one more important
Right.
thing than you just spouting off your beliefs.
But Johnny, does that mean that you value your things more than someone's life?
goddamn right.
If they're trying to take it,
You're
yeah.
goddamn right.
That also means that they value my things more than
or
their
my
life.
person. Yeah. Yeah, I'm more concerned about your guys' safety, my safety, and my property safety than I am about your little cause. Just going to say it there. And once again, fuck the fucking cops.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, so on the protests, we kind of covered the protests and the loot, like kind of shit, right?
Signing off. Toodaloo, gay boys.
So long, gay boy!
Later, Chard.
Hey, brother.
Bye, chow.
Oh, man. All right, so what else is there that we anything else to cover on that whole little, that was just our little recap thing. Anything else on there?
Not for me.
No, not for me at all.
All right,
I'm good.
so what else do we got, Chris? What do you want to go over on there?
We talked about get your gear, bro.
Oh, okay. All right, you want to go there? All
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Now I'll put a little disclaimer out real quick. So, let me explain it first. So I've had, since the whole stay-at-home order has been in place, I've had people hit me up about gear and equipment and weapons and whatever, and I've had them hit me up now that the riots and stuff are happening. Same people, maybe even more people now, but it's been a steady stream this whole entire 3 months or whatever it's been of this bullshit. Now, people that have not been in, this does not apply to the people that have not been into this and they're just figuring it out now, that we need to have our own self-ownership and protect our own property. Like, those people I'm not talking to. I'm talking to the people, and I know there's a bunch of y'all that know me, that I've been saying for over 10 years or 8 years, whatever it is, that whoever knew me. And it's like, I've been saying the whole time, get your gear, bro. Get your fucking gear. Get your stuff. Like, be responsible. Like, something can happen. Like, I never thought there'd be a quarantine lockdown bullshit. I never thought that would happen. I knew riots were more likely than that, right? But I didn't know that something like that would happen. And, worst case scenario is if they keep you locked down long enough, everyone lose business. People start having to, it could have been worse, right? They could have done even more. What do you call it? Like, you couldn't leave your house at all or some crazy shit. People are going to start looting, right? They have to. How are you going to survive, right? So your family's more important than anything. So that's how they're going to think, right? So they're going to go out and do stuff. So you have to protect yours. So I've been telling people all this time to get it. And it's like basic. Like, you should just be having your basic weapon that you need, or two, a primary, like a rifle or a shotgun, and a secondary, a pistol, your backup. You should have that. You should have the means to carry it on your person, extra magazines for both weapons, or if they're not magazine fed, whatever, it could be a revolver and a shotgun. But you have ways to carry your extra ammo, and you have a rig or something to do it. You could just do a belt, you could do a chest rig, or you could do both. But you should have that. You should have a backpack with a hydration bladder in it, and you should be prepared. And then
At least, Corey. At least.
At least, for sure. And then you should have some basic food, water and stuff like that. We kind of covered this a few times before, but like we think that you should be prepared. Like, we've talked about this on the show. But it's just funny that I have some people that I've known for years and years, and I'm like, yeah, maybe they got one or two of the things that I told them, but they're like, dude, I still don't have this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, dude, I talked to you about this 8 years ago.
Right.
Like, really? I get it. If it's been a year maybe since we talked, I kind of get that. But look at the climate and what everything's happened even from 9/11 until now. That was when I really started getting into this stuff, kind of looking at the world and the country, you know, and changing my opinion and going to like a freedom-minded journey, right? Until I became basically an ANCAP. But like, why don't you have your gear? Get your fucking gear, bro. And now they're like, everyone's complaining to me. Oh, it's 12 weeks to get my armor. It's all the gun stores are closed. I mean, now they're opening, but I mean, like at the time, it was the gun stores are closed. I don't have any ammo. I don't have mags. It's like, sorry, bro. I have my stuff. Sorry.
Right.
Dude, I'm guilty as that shit too. I totally.
Oh,
am.
I am
Sorry.
too. Yeah, I am
So
too.
get your shit, bro. Get your gear.
Yeah, definitely.
That was the
need
point. It was just a little
yeah.
baby rant, and it's just kind of put you in check real quick. I would recommend take your gear, lay it out. This is what I can actually physically carry. Be real about it too.
Right.
Oh,
This is
God.
what, yeah. And then you can have your secondary stuff that's over here in duffel bags or containers or whatever the fuck you want. But at least you have your stuff. You're like, this is my first line gear. This is what I can fucking rock for protecting myself, for bugging out, or whatever the fucking case is. And then I have my other stuff that I can carry in a vehicle if I can. But if I couldn't, then I can just put my basic kit on and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend. Lay it out.
And
I would say gloves and knee pads are essential.
I would
Definitely,
too. Yeah.
Definitely.
And you can
after training a lot.
And the cool thing about most of this gear is like the gear that I run, a lot of it is still the Chinese clone gear
Yeah.
stuff that I wore when I
And a
played
lot of
airsoft.
it's still good.
Yeah, and I mean,
You already have wear and tear on it. You have miles on it, and it's still alive.
it still works. Yeah,
So
and
it
like
proves.
and I would fucking beat that shit up too.
Condor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah. So if you want some cheap entry level stuff, there's a brand called Condor. They are based out of China. They're really big in the airsoft world because it's affordable. But I mean,
Some of it's even mil spec. Like they'll have
Yeah.
like the NATO approved, whatever, but not all of it.
well, dude, you remember my soft shell jacket I had with
Yes,
the patches?
yes.
Bro, I had that thing for like a decade.
That's
and
crazy.
And the zipper finally just
Gave
like
out.
last month
Right.
gave out. I was like, after I washed it, I was like, wow.
Didn't the little Velcro straps give out in you too?
They did, but I
Yeah.
just super glue those back
Yeah,
down.
That was the only thing. Though.
That was it.
Yeah, but that was the only immediate problem,
Mhm.
and that was like
Works,
the
right?
Gen 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably by now
Like-
the Gen 3 is out, and they're probably legit.
Yeah, like I remember I got that at the old Airsoft Extreme.
How much did you pay
store
for it?
before.
Just out of
It was like
curiosity.
$100.
Okay, so I bought a 511 that was the same one. I have a Gen 1 and a Gen 2, and both of them cost 200 and something. It was over 200.
But you still have them though,
Oh,
and
for
they're
sure.
still fine.
Yeah, but I don't wear them as much as you, but you could tell the quality is a little better.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying price-wise, like you could buy 3 of what you bought and wear one every day and then just have yours in your bug-out kits and stuff, the
Yep.
other ones.
Well, and you can find them. Like I've found clones of those things online for like $40 before. I'm just like, oh, okay, so you can find them cheap.
Okay,
Like,
so we brought this up before when we talked about packs. So my one thing is that I feel like that you do need to spend money on is your chest rigger carrier, right, plate carrier, whatever it is. I would say spend a lot on those and your backpack. On your pouches and stuff like that, you can get the more budget-friendly stuff for now.
you can fudge
If
those
you,
a
and
little
if
bit.
you really want it, yeah, you can fuck with that. But I mean, but we did prove that Jamie's is still hold up and all that.
Yeah.
I would definitely say the number one though that you should mainly focus on is on the backpack because of the straps. Because the straps are going to cut into you after a while on the cheaper ones.
Yeah.
They do seem to wear out a little faster than the plate carriers and the chest rigs and stuff like that. Seems like those last a little longer. But the backpacks, yeah, I feel like it's mainly the straps. That's my main complaint about.
I definitely had one when I worked at the paintball company. I had one of the straps because I would just carry it over one
Right.
shoulder all the time.
right. It
Um,
wore out.
It did, yeah. Eventually.
And so I wasn't just talking about that, by the way. I was talking about the paddedness, like the thickness of them, because like you're wearing it with weighted down shit in it, right?
Yeah.
And then it's cutting into you, even with your carrier and all that crap. I've had it where it's cut into my shoulders. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'll change out. Even with the Camelbacks that I was talking about the other time, the lighter weight ones, if you put too much weight in them, the pads aren't meant for a certain amount of weight on you. Where I went and grabbed my biggest one that has like fat fucking padded whatever, and I have a lot of weight in it, and it's fine.
Okay.
It's fucking fine. So I would just recommend that.
I'm kind of a backpack whore though.
Yeah,
So
I knew you
yeah,
were
so
going
like
for
I'm
that.
all about like
Yeah.
spend expensive
I got
backpack. I'll take it.
4. I think I got 4.
So I do backpacking, and
Mhm.
I have
Those will work fine.
yeah my gear, everything fits on in my backpack, all my gear. It has a strap across the chest. It has a strap across the waist. So those shoulder straps don't dig into you.
Right.
And you could also carry accessories across the strap, across the front of your chest, as well as on the actual device that connects the backpack to your
The waist belt.
the waist belt. So
So the other thing I like to add is getting your gear, bro. Can also be like
the fuck is head jerk, dude?
that's my boy Chuck. So
What's up, Chuck?
what up, brother? So the other thing you can also look at is, okay, maybe I don't want to have a gun, maybe I can't own a gun, whatever the hell, right?
Right,
Well, you can go get yourself quite a few pepper sprays.
right.
You can go get yourself a ball bat, a fucking flashlight. You should always have a
Right.
flashlight. You can
A
get knives,
baton.
a baton. You can get all that stuff to have. So there's ways that you can still get geared up,
Yeah.
right?
You can
Without
still
having to
protect
worry.
yourself,
If you don't, or maybe you're not comfortable with a firearm. You don't have anyone to train you.
Right.
You don't have the money to do
Or
it.
you just
Maybe
don't
you're
want
broke.
one.
Or maybe you're broke.
Yeah.
Or you don't trust yourself with one.
And
Who knows?
If you guys want, if you
You can still gear up. Is my point.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can still get something to defend yourself, right? And if you guys want to know about some more, that was fucking cool. If you want to know more about
Always carry one of these.
less lethal alternatives, if you don't want to carry a firearm or you're not interested
Right.
in that at all, I can show you where to go with like a less lethal type of a launcher. It would be like an air-based system that would fire a
Paint gun style thing.
yeah, basically a 68 caliber projectile.
Or tasers or whatever. We did a few shows on that stuff too.
It says, it wouldn't be a grim podcast without Johnny mentioning pepper spray.
True.
That
Very
is-
true.
That is damn
Yeah,
true.
that's true. I gave my boy Chuck a few things a few years back, backpacking a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually do that once I upgrade gear and go. Well, I was going through the figuring out what's what kind of thing,
Yeah.
and as I would go through it, I believe it was a Voodoo Tactical, by the way, Jamie. Big old backpack I gave him.
Nice.
Because I was just like, yeah, I'm upgrading to Camelback. I'm just sticking with that. And that was when I learned, don't fuck around.
Yeah,
Like,
well, Voodoo is one of
it's
those
still a
ones
good
that's
bag.
like,
I've used the shit out of that
yeah,
bag, dude.
I was gonna say that's another one of those like.
But it's still not as good as the Camelback. But for free, it's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also companies like Vertex, and there's even airsoft stores. There's the guys up at Airsoft Extreme. There's Evike, which is a huge evike.com, huge airsoft superstore. You can find cheap gear if you want to mess around. The thing is if you want to do the airsoft gear route, just know that you will be buying your gear twice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cameltail.
Sorry,
Like, I want a new plate
Fucking-
carrier.
Somebody
So-
said
sorry,
in the
Jamie.
chat.
He just camel toe was hilarious.
Oh.
Camel toe.
That's Corey.
I just-
Or no, that was Chuck. That was Chuck. Sorry.
So you will be buying your gear twice if you decide to go the airsoft route, and then you eventually will inevitably want something that's a little bit better. Like I want a new plate carrier real bad because the one I have the plate doesn't sit in the cavity where it should. It rides down too low and doesn't cover my collarbone, so you can't have that. So I got to get a new carrier. But it still offers some protection now. It still does work to some degree. So,
Yeah.
but when I can get around to it, I want to get the same one that Richard has. I think.
I actually know how to make a really tasty Molotov cocktail.
Yeah, they are.
Just so you know.
Molotov cocktails are effective.
Yeah.
I was actually a little afraid during the protests. That's what I'm most afraid of is
Right, I agree.
firebombs. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That is the most.
No,
weird.
I got a really delicious recipe for that. So.
Did you guys see
Just saying.
Did you see the dude? So and then get trained. So my next point was, get fucking training after that, or
Right.
like really start learning about it at
Right.
minimum, right?
Right.
And the good proof is that there was a protester. We saw video footage of this. A protester. It looked like an Antifa dude, and he fucking walked out, and he had a AR-15,
Yes.
and he was hiding behind the cop cars. And this fucking former Marine came out of fucking nowhere, grabbed by the buffer tube the rifle, pulled it away while he was still retaining his pistol in the other hand, and he had his own AR slung behind his or on his side, and he was just like this, grabbed it out of the dude's hand. The guy didn't even know what to do, and then backed off, unloaded it, and then
Yeah.
walked away.
He-
and it was just like, that's the difference between someone that's legit and is trained.
Right.
And that's not even part of training. You would never get trained to do that. But the guy was comfortable enough, and he knew that he had the element of surprise on his hands. Because I'm sure that's why he tucked back his fucking rifle so you couldn't see him walking up. And then he had his gun probably down low and then came up. Whoop, just like hella quick.
Jesus.
Yeah.
he
What,
just-
what was
he
the dude trying to do that was...
So
was
there was
hiding
a
behind
car.
a car.
The news
Yeah.
media was recording this. This is actually on news. They have the banner on the bottom and everything, and then they zoom in on this guy, and he looks like Antifa shit, and he's sneaking around this car. Like his body language is saying, "I'm sneaking around to shoot."
Okay.
And he's walking around, and just out of nowhere, this one dude just comes up, whoop, with this gun retained
just
and everything.
snatches it right.
Yeah,
Just like.
yeah. It was fucking legit. I think I sent it to you on IG, but you never check it.
And he grabbed a kid too, didn't he? Or he had
No,
he
didn't
had
tou-
his gun
he
trained
didn't-
on him.
He didn't touch.
He
it
had
more.
his 9mm on him. Yeah.
Maybe he touched his hand when he grabbed the gun from it, but
Yeah.
yeah, he grabbed it by the buffer tube, just whoop right out of it.
Yeah, oh, that's right. And then the kid realized he wasn't a cop, so he ran off.
It was
That's
pretty,
right,
It was
he
pretty
ran off.
legit.
I'm sure they got him now. Fuck
Fuck
that.
around and
fucking-
find out.
Fuck Antifa, dude.
What are you guys trying to figure out in the chat right now, Corey? And
Got it.
yeah, Bianca, thank you for the plug there. Appreciate that.
What's the YT?
in YouTube?
Oh, YouTube.
She's just telling people to hit the bell button.
Oh, yeah,
us
for
with
sure,
what we
man.
want. But
Hit the like and subscribe also.
What-
You
what's
guys
it
would be
say?
doing us a great favor by doing that. Spread the word of freedom. Put us out there. Tell your friends that freedom is essential. And, that get on our path. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and that was it about the gear. Unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
No,
Yeah.
we've covered so much.
But
on
yeah,
there.
keep in mind if you don't have any of the real tactical stuff, you can still make your own kit. Have your water because sworn that ringer was off, and
I thought so too, man. I don't know. What the hell, dude.
flashlight, batteries. Your pepper spray, your baton, a ball bat, whatever it is that you want. Like something, you got to have something, dude.
I thought you said ball bag for a second there, and I was
Yeah,
about
that
to
too.
be
That would be
12.
pretty legit. A bag full of soap.
Fucking sock full of soap.
Sure, there you go. That too.
Who ordered the code red?
All right, what else do we got?
We got the protests. We kind of talked about earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about a little bit about the principle behind it, and I know a lot of people are out there saying racism, it's bad or whatever, and it is. Don't get
Fuck yeah, it is.
don't get
Fuck
me wrong.
racist.
We hate that because it's
carefully.
a violation. It's a violation of your property rights when people do that. Racism is a violation. They're free to say whatever they want, but
I'm not sure it's a violation of property rights. Just my opinion.
Oh, wait, let me think about this for a second. Okay, so
Racism is your opinion and your whatever.
I
I think
guess
it's
it's
wrong.
just a-
It's very
it's a-
bad.
Yeah, it's well, if it causes force.
Well,
yeah.
but that's an action,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a.
Let me just-
Okay,
a
so
robbery or
here's
something.
where I'm going.
Hang
with
on.
this.
Let me just because it's what we're doing. We're gonna do this in real time.
Right.
You're gonna
yeah.
you're gonna.
I'm not
figure
gonna be
out-
able to edit.
No,
this.
it's okay.
We're live.
You're gonna figure out and tell us
Doing it live.
how you feel about something by running it through your philosophies.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So just you guys can see this is I've done this so many times where I'll say some shit and then I'll be like, well, hold on. You guys have seen me do it on this show.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait.
I just did it.
Okay, hold on. And then I'm like, all right, never mind. This is actually what I
Rethink what you
you
said.
gotta
Okay.
like you gotta fucking
So
think like logically instead of just emotionally.
right. And here's where I'm going with it. I know a lot of people attach the racism thing, and I know that there might be some kind of element to it. I totally understand that, but I think the larger picture is not just racial profiling, but the actual use of force by the state is the bigger problem, because black people are dying, brown people are dying, white people are dying. Every race will die at the hands of the state or a state enforcer. Not everybody. I mean, not regular people, but people who come in contact with them, or there's that chance. So the bigger picture to me is the abuse of power. That is the bigger problem. It's statism is the bigger problem. It's statism. I feel like it creates racism.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I'm
I
at.
think racism can live within statism, but I don't know that they are like directly correlative
Right.
to
It
each
could
other.
be. I mean, it could be
could be.
depending. Like Nazi Germany, obviously, is racist against the
right,
Jews.
right.
Yeah.
So it could be.
So if we have
but
a
I don't
system,
think it necessarily means
Yeah.
that. You just have individuals in that system, generally, that can be or can't or aren't. You know what I mean? They are. They are.
right.
I think Eric July has a line in his song about self-ownership where he said it the best, and I'll say that because I haven't heard anyone say it better. You focus on the racism and ignore all the statism.
Right.
And I've
Oh,
liked
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I like that line because that is what it is. Like all these people are protesting against police because of police brutality. But if you would have got out ahead of this and protested the fact that there is police at all, maybe we wouldn't have this problem, right? Like there's police can do what they can do because of the power you gave them by voting them into
Right.
those
There
positions.
wouldn't be
Well,
any
not-
police
not-
if there wasn't a government.
Not only that, but
Straight up.
the reason I think for me the reason why the police work for our society is because people generally are not evil people. I think like you and I, Jamie and Johnny, we want to go to work. We want to own things. We want to feel safe. Like most people want that in their lives. People
Sure.
aren't generally criminals. Even if there wasn't, I mean, who would want to? Would you really want to put your life in danger? Committing crimes, knowing that there's no police and everybody's armed. I mean, people don't generally think that way. People don't generally think that way, and this is what gives the police their power: is that we don't want to be. We just want to go about our lives, right?
Yeah.
And we don't do anything that's gonna affect our daily routines, and that's why police are able to have their power, is because we're not confrontational with them until now.
I have a different take. My take is that everyone's been brainwashed into assuming that this is just the way it is.
That's definitely part
And
of it. Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
like my main
Yeah, absolutely.
thinking.
I think that's probably the biggest part of it.
If 90 out of 99 people and one person didn't want to put I don't know, have a restriction on something like walking across the street or whatever.
Right.
It's like, well, then that person should be able to do that, and the other 99% or 99 people can fucking
Use the
crosswalk or whatever.
Right.
But it's like as soon as you add a law to something, then all of a sudden you're saying that I can or a law enforcement agent can initiate force
Right.
against someone,
Right.
which means they're either going to get incarcerated or if they resist, up to killed.
Right.
Yeah.
So death. I like that. To me, I don't like it at all. Like.
That's a steep one.
It's basically it's the same thing as it's mob rule is basically what we're dealing with.
Right.
And so people are somewhat lazy, like what you're saying. They're definitely conditioned, and it might not be brainwashed. It's more like conditioned, which is still a form of that.
Right.
But it's just like you've grown up always knowing that pledge allegiance to the flag.
Right. Well, we've all gone
worship
through the
state,
school system.
worship
Yeah,
the
we've all gone
cops,
through the school system.
Worship everything.
Yeah.
And it's I just.
I mean, we're taught authority from the time that we're born. I mean, your parents are the authority, and then
Respect authority.
Yeah.
Respect my authority.
Then you go to school, and then there's an authority there.
Right.
When you get out of school, you get a job. There's authority there. If you're driving down the street and going too fast, there's authority there. So we're all conditioned for authority, but the difference is there's the authority that is the parental authority, which is to me is honorable. That's my mom and my dad. I'm going to honor them, even though I can disobey them. I love them enough to not, do something that's going to break their heart or whatever,
Yeah.
So, and that's different than authority that was granted by the state that was voted on and that has grown out of enormous taxation.
Protect and serve. Yeah, it's not protect and serve anymore. It's law enforcement.
Well, they're not even they're not even cops or police. They're enforcers, and that's
they are technically politicians, enforcers.
Yeah, they impose their will on people, and the enforcers carry out the punishment.
So with the guy that just died, George Floyd, that had the guy's shin or whatever on his neck, he died over, what is it, a $20 fake check or
fake bill,
cash or whatever it was. He died over that.
Right.
Other guy, the original time we heard about
unne-
Can't Breathe,
Yeah.
that was when he got choked out for selling cigarettes.
He was selling single cigarettes.
Fucking Lucy's, dude.
So
That's
that just proves my point. If you jaywalk, you can die.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah,
and
you can.
People
So-
that justify and say blue lives and all that stuff and the thin blue line, all that.
thin blue balls.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
remember how
dude,
much
what
I
are
used
you
to
guys
wear that?
talking
Oh
about?
yeah, you used to wear that
I
fucking
used
hat.
to wear it a lot.
Remember I almost
dude.
threw up on it?
I think so. Yeah, I used to wear it a lot.
I'm just kidding.
So I'm gonna catch up on the chat really quick here for a second. So Corey says 57 officers quit from the place that old man got pushed out.
Right.
So at least some of those guys were like, you know what, I'm not going to stand up for this anymore.
Right.
Martin, he says, what about the vandalism those protesters are doing? We kind of went over that already.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Protesting, great, but as soon as it turns into
They're
rioting,
looters.
yeah, like once you become the aggressor, you are no longer an ally of liberty. If you ask me,
you're no longer
when you
protected
destroy
under
someone's
Grim
property,
86
that-
Freedom First podcast.
when you destroy someone's property, that's
give
when you
you
cross
this.
the line.
That's what happens when
You cross the line, my man.
You cross the line. Here you go. So 57 cops quit because they didn't like the way one of their or two of their fellow officers were treated. They quit. They didn't quit the force, and the two officers were suspended without pay. They didn't quit the force. What they did is they quit the emergency team, whatever their job
the
is.
riot team, basically.
Yeah, the riot
Okay.
team, right? So they quit that, and so now I guess there's no riot police. So, I don't know if there's anything, if there's any more riots going on or whatever, but I don't know if you guys seen the video of why that guy got suspended. There was a 72-year-old man. Old people don't have good balance, and this guy, you could tell he didn't have, and it didn't take much force to knock him over, but the problem is he hit his head on the ground and his ears started bleeding. So when your ears bleed, that's brain trauma. And when you have that brain trauma, he had
I didn't even see the fleshlight till right now.
that was okay. So I had brain surgery in 2017 because I had a subdural hematoma, what that is I had a blood clot between the layer that protects my brain from my skull and separates the brain from the skull and the brain matter itself, right? So I had a blood clot there. They had to go in and cut a silver dollar size hole in my head and extract that hematoma. So basically what happened was I was snowboarding, I hit my head and my brain rattled around. It caused damage, and my brain started bleeding. Not so much that it came out of my ears, but this is what happens to older people, senior citizens. They fall down, they hit their head, they get a subdural hematoma, and they either become they are put into a vegetative state, die, or sometimes recover. I am one of the people. Very, very. I'm very lucky to be sitting here right now. I could have died. I could have been in a vegetative state, or I could have had loss of brain function, loss of body function. I didn't have any of that, and I'm very fortunate. But the elderly people, when they fall down, it's usually a death sentence for them, and it's a horrible thing. And even though that police officer barely touched him.
That's all it took.
It's still force.
Well, you got to recognize if it's someone that's lighter than you,
Right.
older than you, whatever it is, and you're in that position.
Right.
Even if you're just a security person and you realize it's a little girl or a older guy or whatever
Right.
it is, right?
Right.
Or a lighter guy, right? And then you put any force on them, they're gonna fucking dump over real quick.
Yeah.
Right?
One thing that I would want to bring up on that note too is
That's
that
just being a bully.
when you're wearing
Exactly.
fucking an extra 40, 50 pounds of gear, your body kind of turns into a wrecking ball, and you don't really notice it until you see that kinetic energy transfer.
Right.
When we were fucking doing
Science.
we were doing drills and we were running around. We're doing a full gear drill out at a buddy's place, and I remember when I was sprinting wearing my plate carrier, I ran into John's fence because I couldn't fucking stop. Yeah, because I'm like, oh,
I remember that.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah.
You're not used to it.
Yeah, because
Oh my
dude,
God.
You're all lesson learned.
I'm a skinny guy. So I put on that plate carrier, I become top heavy. It's not a good look for me. But when I start fucking moving, it's like you can't. I'm not slowing down as quick as I normally can. So get out
Call
of the
him
fucking
old
way.
ECV muffin top over there.
There we go. But it was interesting running in a plate carrier. Holy shit, dude! Trying to get up off the ground wearing a plate carrier. If your arms look like mine do, it's difficult.
Let me see.
It is pretty hard to do, bro. It is not easy. You got to train, dude. If you're wearing that, that's getting back to the gear thing for just 1 second. If you're gonna wear, I've been telling people this. If you're gonna wear armor, you need to be lifting and working out.
I
have to.
need to start doing that.
If you're not gonna do that, a chest rig is a better option.
Yeah.
Where you don't have armor. Just
Right.
keep that in
Dude,
mind.
my vest is fucking heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mine is fucking you're doing one arm curls. I'm like, 3.
And I don't even have my thing has a place for side plates, and I don't even have them in there.
Yeah, fuck side plates.
I'm like, Jesus, I can't even fucking.
You don't need them if you just face the threat,
Yeah, exactly.
or you get shot in the face.
There's also that.
Yeah. So just a side note, back to the gear thing for a second. What else?
TJ says 57 pieces of trash.
Yeah, that's what we were laughing about.
Yeah,
that was full
buddy.
of shit. That was good. Fuck
I
them
agree.
ass pigs.
I agree. Ah, man, this world.
And just like that,
Stop
the
voting.
virus doesn't matter.
Stop voting,
in
guys.
the media.
Stop voting. Every time you vote, it creates a new law that somebody has to enforce. Stop voting. Even when you're voting for taxes, for
Cigarettes, whatever.
whatever.
Fast food, junk food, whatever.
Anything. You think it's bad.
Or the environment.
Oh, we should tax the shit out of sugar. Don't do that. Because somebody has to enforce that.
Mhm.
And because somebody has to enforce that, somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
And if somebody dies, that means whoever voted is complicit in that death.
Right, Corey? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We agree.
Yep.
Corey, yep. Fucking A. It's like, oh, it's all gone now.
The COVID. Let's talk about the COVID for a second. So we had these riots. I saw an article from Yahoo that said 19,000 people were diagnosed within 2 days of the of the riots, right? So there was whatever kind of spike, 10, 19,000, 20,000 people. But we were talking earlier. So the original figures for last year, I think
it was a couple years ago.
A couple of years ago,
for the flu.
the highest rate of
80,000.
death was like 80,000 people. COVID has killed
110.
110. So you're looking at like 30,000 more people, and people aren't getting infected like they said like we were led to believe.
The numbers have been bullshitted from the beginning.
Right.
It's safe to
I was
say,
promised
right?
millions.
Yeah.
Right.
I was promised a worldwide pandemic.
Did you guys
100 billion?
Did you guys watch the Larkin Rose
Yes.
video with the
I-
mountain
no, I
lions?
didn't.
That one.
Yes.
Okay,
I missed
I
that.
just watched that one today, so
It was
I
amazing.
I see where you, some of
Amazing.
those there it is.
Tim the Statist joins us, everybody.
Can we just make COVID-19 tax, see if it stops it?
He's off screen, by the way.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Tim in the chat.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we could
man.
tax the shit out of COVID, you know. It'll go away.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would run away.
Definitely.
Fuck that.
Shit.
If you get COVID, it's gonna you have to pay the state $20,000.
So all we've been telling people from the beginning about COVID is like, you have to kind of do your own research on that, and don't let people who only want to listen to government media outlets influence you into only listening to their side of the story.
Or
because
the state-run doctors, because that's what most people are like, oh, I don't listen to doctors. I'm like, but they're state-run doctors. They're getting fucking paid by
Or
the
the-
government or grants by the government for their research.
or
Like,
the conglomerate news media. I mean, they gained tons off of scaring you and making you fearful.
what video are we talking about? Which one? What are you talking about? The guy with the gun?
I'm going to go
Or
ahead and link it. I think he's talking about the Larkin Rose
the Larkin
video.
Rose
Yeah,
video?
the one about
the numbers?
yeah,
That
about
one
COVID.
came out today.
So, are you talking about numbers? We have
He's
numbers
gonna,
from yesterday, right?
Well, no. The actual, this one right. Yeah. He'll link. You're gonna link it in the description or put it on the
I'm
chat.
going to put it in the chat right
All
here.
So if that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
you
if
got
this is it's good, but I mean, even I like this guy a lot, but even the shit that he says, I take with a grain of salt because I don't have the information in front of me to look up all his numbers. So
Yeah.
I mean, he could be fucking completely wrong about all of it as far as I know. But it's important to listen to different people because how are you going to
Right.
get a educated opinion by listening to one source?
But the fact is, we do know 110 had died.
Right.
Okay.
So we do know that many have died. Do we know how many are actual? Like even he said on that video, I remember, is he was like, if we can take that number seriously too, because it could be less. Because
Right.
we do have plenty of reports. Not saying it's a lot, or it could be a little, or it could be way a lot, right?
Well, we have
But
numbers
they
from
are
yesterday,
saying that those numbers could be fudged, right?
Right,
That,
right.
that those are.
Well,
like,
we know-
I got in a car
we
crash.
know they
I died
are.
You know,
We know
Yeah.
they are because they're attaching.
but we don't know how many.
They're attaching the COVID-19 to people who are sick already, who may pass within the next year anyway. So they attach the COVID to them, like say they got infected. So they're saying that their deaths are from COVID, not from the other complications. So that's
Yeah,
I mean that is to me
So-
that's not a truthful.
they're being misleading.
yeah, that's totally
anyone
misleading.
listening right now, go look up Eric July. Find his what's his? Do you remember what his name is on
Young Ripa.
Young Ripper 5'9" or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, Young Ripper. But you can type in Eric July and you'll see his page. Follow him. He's great. And Larkin Rose, the one that we just sent the video. In my opinion, those are the guys that I respect a lot.
Yeah, Larkin Rose's videos
And
are
they're
a little.
consistent.
Yeah, Larkin, his videos they're a little they're lower quality as far as for production. They're kind of like our show,
Right.
but
But he's more philosophy based all the time versus Eric can be that way, but he can also talk more like real, like your
Yeah.
buddies.
and he does,
So
and
they
so-
both are great. I'm
and
not
s-
down talking.
Yeah.
about it.
Eric will do
I love
some
Eric
videos
July.
that are edited where he just is like he just has a rant that he says and it's cut and it's all spliced together and makes this nice little short video and then it's like
Where
it's to the
Larkins are
point.
more like a speech kind of thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they're both good
love
for
'em
different
both.
reasons. Like
Yeah.
they, you know,
Yeah.
I like them both a lot.
If
But
you
they
watch
are
'em-
always saying the same shit. They always are.
remember property rights when you watch this stuff, and that will
Self-ownership of property.
that will kind of keep you. Well, that will keep you in the mindset of a libertarian.
Even if you
Or
didn't
even
agree with it,
ANCAP.
at least you
Yeah.
know where they're coming from, because
Right.
that's what the key is. Property is the key. Self-ownership.
And then
Right.
and then through proxy where we come from. Like maybe if hearing us say it over and over and over is not doing it for you. You need another voice, then maybe they are articulating it a little differently, and it makes it easier to understand. So I still haven't seen Patrick show up in the chat. I was really hoping he was going to show. I think I'm going to hit him up on Facebook and personally invite him over, because that would be really cool to get him in here. Oh, really quick. Do you guys see my new shirt?
Yeah,
Oh,
let's see it.
That's on the store, right?
Yeah, freedom first. That's what it's
the
about.
distressed Freedom First logo.
Mhm.
It just says Freedom First on it, guys. It doesn't have any of the podcast branding anywhere, so it's if you just want.
So if you like freedom but you hate the Grim 86 show, you could buy it.
I wanted to make it devoid of the podcast, just because
Even Tim the Statist could wear one.
there are some people that maybe you don't like the stuff that we say, but you want to have a cool shirt that says Freedom First on it because you like freedom. You just like it in a different way than we do. Hey, well, cool. It's for you.
Oh,
Yep.
Your version is not freedom, but okay.
It is what it is.
Maybe you're a constitutionalist and you want to wear that shirt. You can wear
Yeah,
it.
you can wear it.
Sure.
You can wear it.
All
That's fine.
How much is
For
it
you,
with
Tim,
tax?
how much is the tax?
Tim, it's going to come out to $84.99.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the text.
See,
Oh, shit.
that's why we're laissez-faire over here. Like we'll just trade for it, Tim. You let us use the bunker, and we'll we'll get you a shirt.
All right, guys. So anything else you guys want to talk about? We're just chilling. We were planning on having a little discussion.
COVID numbers. So in California, this is as of yesterday, 1.2K in California are infected. There's been 4,422 deaths as of yesterday.
in California.
In California. Those numbers are for California. Now, U.S. numbers, 1.991 million
Have been infected.
have been infected.
110.
And 110 have died from COVID-19. So those are the most recent numbers that we have. I don't know what today's numbers look like, but those, I mean, and like we said, the flu, the most powerful flu that we've had in a few years was a few years ago, and it killed 80,000 people. And
didn't hear shit about that.
Yeah, we didn't.
We didn't have quarantines and shit. At
No,
least.
definitely not quarantines. You may have heard about it, and they pushed their. I mean, who knows if those numbers are correct, right?
True.
Because I mean, they're pushing a vaccine, so doctors are going to tell you to get it. The media is going to tell you to get it. The government's definitely going to tell you to get it because they all make money. Look at advertising on media. We have doctors get kickbacks for selling drugs. They're basically drug dealers. And the state always benefits from taxes, so who knows if those numbers are right? Who knows if they're, I mean, they fudged these numbers and they did it openly in front of everybody, and we all know it.
Well, and then why would they want to fudge the numbers? Well, for one, obviously control of the population. Yeah. For two, you get more cases, you get more numbers, you get more money. And that's the way it is. Even with the riots, like, some people are like, well, why are there allegedly some cops that are inciting the riots? Like they're doing something or throwing bricks through windows or something to start it, right?
Job security.
Well, because then, job security, but they get funds from the federal government, from the state. They get more, even when they go to their reelection, if it's a sheriff or whatever, they're going to get more during the times of crisis. They're going to get more money coming into them. Right. So it only makes sense to have more problems and chaos. Like, look at after 9/11, they got all these different bills passed, and they got different armored cars, different military weapons, different things, and more budget kicked down to them because of the problems that were going on or the alleged problems that were going on. So if they do incite things and do things like that, well, it's not just because they're racist or whatever. It's because they want more fucking money.
It's because they're the state. That's why.
And then they're going to get more
the state
every year.
runs on
and
taxes.
Then all of a sudden it goes right up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Their budget goes up. So instead of X amount of dollars this year, now it's a different number.
Right. See, and here's the thing. Like, when we cut taxes and cut funding, the state...
Why am I not drinking a beer?
The state starts to go away because it can't maintain itself because it doesn't produce anything but force. It doesn't... But, see, here's the thing. The government has figured out to self-fund. So they make up bonds, right? And they sell them to
the Fed.
The Fed. The Fed gives them money.
Cash.
And now the state is funded.
Paper.
Yep. Fancy papers.
And the Fed and taxation all force is evil.
I agree.
Damn. So I hit up Patrick. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, so let's just give him a couple more minutes because that would be kind of cool if he jumped in. And
Yeah,
at this point, he's going to have to just watch the show later because we said all the stuff that we were going to say. But
Well, he was getting into some other questions about freedom and liberty and things like that he wanted to talk about. So if he gets here, we'll get into it. Otherwise, we can maybe set it up for the next time we do our show.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
So, but yeah, we can chill. Like, all right, what have you guys been up to? What's going on? Let's talk about
So
just random stuff.
okay, so I did a CrossFit class, or my buddy was putting it on because he wants to start like a social distancing kind of like
Gym
workout group, right?
Why do I picture you in
Wow.
like a pink and black spandex? Like what's his name? Hart?
Probably because I was wearing one and I
Probably
sent
were,
you a
yeah.
picture.
Sure, maybe.
it's like the Borat fucking bikini.
And he's doing slide aerobics back and forth. Not even.
I was jazzercising. These guys are doing CrossFit.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands.
So anyway.
So I was doing so they did a modified version for me because I'm barely getting back into it.
And CrossFit's fucking hard.
It is hard, dude. But I mean, it was just basically doing stuff I could do without any kind of like weights or any other equipment. So you run, you do burpees, I did lunges, but a lot of them, and I was fucking sore for like 4 days, man. But I continued to keep working out. But yeah, that was really cool. That was something I've never really gotten into CrossFit, and I always kind of like joke about it that it's a joke, but it's really fucking hard, dude.
Dude, it is hard,
Yeah.
but that's why people usually hate on it so much is because it is so physically straining that it's like
I mean, I'm hard right now.
you can hurt yourself.
So I mean,
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. That's weird.
I threw my back out actually with kettlebells because it was my fault. I was doing it
Right.
wrong.
right?
But the thing about being my height is that with a lot of with a lot of trainers,
Is that a bug?
it was a bug.
Beat the
It was a
shit.
bogey.
Bogey.
Intruder. A lot of trainers don't know how to deal with guys that are my height. So whenever I'm trying to do something and they're like, "Oh, your form is wrong," I'm like, "I can't bend that way." Like,
Right.
it doesn't. I'm not your height. Like, my body doesn't work that way. Like, me and my little brother are kind of built the same way. I'm taller than he is, but like, whenever both of us try to do deadlifts, what happens is like most people can just pick the barbell up, but him and I run into a problem where the bar hits our knees because of the way our legs are bent, and they're so much longer and we're all the way on the ground, so you got more of your fucking knees bent. I don't know. It's awkward being a gangly guy and trying to do this shit like everyone else does. You have to modify it and do
Right.
it kind of your own way.
well, it's kind of like that for short people too.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
And you
I'm
just
sure it is.
slowly build up to it too. You don't go heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Especially
I
if it's
did,
an awkward exercise.
what I did, it was hard, but it wasn't advanced. It was hard enough for me to feel it, but it wasn't so advanced that I couldn't function after. I mean, like the next couple days, because
Okay.
I've been so sore. The next day after working out, this is when I used to like lift super heavy, that I had to take days off of work because I was so fucking tore up.
I've damn near been there myself too.
yeah.
When I remember working in the warehouse, so I was lifting boxes and shit like that all the time. And like if you go and you did a gnarly workout or
Right.
something, you can't lift shit
Yeah,
up. You're like, oh
dude.
god, everything hurts.
Especially leg day, dude.
Legs
Oh,
suck.
that sucks. My legs are still sore from that workout, and that was nearly a week ago.
Well, if you haven't been out longboarding and shit, like you're not getting that regular exercise
Yeah.
in. So it's like,
Well, no, that's the thing. I'm still longboarding, and in
Is longboarding
I s-
really that intense of an exercise?
it is, dude. It really
doing
is.
something
Compared to
with your legs.
CrossFit?
Well, compared to CrossFit,
That's all.
no,
That was my
no,
point. Yeah, I
no.
was gonna say. I think that's not.
But
the
also like running was a lot of
Mhm.
stress on me.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, you do a lot of it in CrossFit. That's for sure.
yeah. No, it was really cool. These guys are like Spartan. They do all the Spartan runs and stuff like that.
Sharton.
So they're gonna do a 25K cookie rock. It's
It
basically
seems like it costs a lot for that.
$15. $15. That's all it costs, Johnny.
A little steep. 20K.
25K. So there, it's a run plus exercises and burpees and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did last week.
That's
Trying
awesome.
To
Start
kill
doing some
time.
burpees and push-ups at home, man.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go, just do that
Yeah.
stuff. That's crazy. Burpees and push-ups.
Try and do 5 burpees.
I don't-
You're gonna see
My
how
back
difficult
hurts
they
thinking about that right now, dude. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
and I did 75. The guys that I was with they were doing 300. When I
Wow.
left, they were at 150. They still
I
had
think the most I've ever done was a 110.
really.
I mean, they were broken up. Yeah, they were broken up.
yeah, that's what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
They were doing
But 110, I think,
sets.
was the most I ever did.
Yeah. So they
But
were,
I wasn't really trying to do just burpee stuff, like CrossFit
right,
stuff.
right.
So
Do you
Yeah.
want to talk at all, Johnny, about the thing we did downtown?
depending on how you want to talk about it.
And we'll bring it up later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out how we want to do that. And yeah.
Well, we can't say this. We could say it this way and keep it very simple. 2 of the members of Grim 86 were pulling security during a protest just to make sure they keep a private business safe. And another member of Grim 86 was in the crowd filming and documenting it and keeping an eye on it. And so, yeah, everyone you see here was involved in it in a way to keep people in check and kind of document it and see what was going on, see what it was all about. And we are in a smaller town, so we knew it wasn't going to get super crazy. It would just always be on guard.
Yeah.
So,
Especially in
yeah.
that I mean, you should be on high alert at that point, I think.
Yeah, anytime
Yeah.
any big group of people are gathered,
Yeah.
even if they are a bunch of kids or whatever they are, like, you still don't know.
Yeah, and that was that was a
Or who's going to join in later. You don't know.
right. Yeah, it was important for Grim 86 Freedom First independent media to be there because nobody else was there.
Yeah, you have a video or two up on some of it, right? And you have some
Right.
more that you were going to
Yeah, we're
load
gonna
on
put
our
more.
page on
We're gonna
Facebook.
put more on the Grim 86 Freedom First podcast web on Facebook page. So I'll roll.
And the pepper sprays were there, just so you guys know. I had to bring that up.
so I'll,
Yeah, I had one that time too.
I'll upload the raw footage, and you guys can either watch it or not.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, whatever.
But it'll be there
yeah.
at some point.
But
soon.
and we are not for either side. We
Right.
are impartial. We are journalists.
Well, yes and
And-
no, but we're definitely like, you were trying to cover it and document
yeah,
it,
I was.
right?
Yeah.
And other people in the podcast here were trying to protect the business.
Well,
And at the same time,
but
observe
that's not
and
the
just know
side.
what's
That's
going
not.
on.
That's not the side, right? That's.
No, there was no
in their
side.
in their protests. It's cops and BML.
And, yeah.
And we as Grim 86 Freedom First believe in property rights. So
It's about the individual, not
Yeah.
the fucking
so we were
collective.
protecting people, like every citizen should. Every citizen should protect.
Fuck
their,
citizens.
Should protect themselves. You know, everybody should own a weapon, and everybody should be ready.
Or we could just try freedom.
Since we don't have freedom, let's try guns.
That is freedom, bro.
if they want
That
'em.
is freedom.
If they want them, right? That would be freedom.
Sure.
If you
Right,
want
right,
guns,
right.
you should have guns.
Yeah.
All right, so is there anything else you guys been doing? And Jamie, you been rocking a video game, or have you been
I've been
watching different kind of
Oh, well,
pregnant women
you
from
know, we could talk
space
about
porn or
Operation
something? Like,
Betty
I
a little
mean,
bit too. Yeah.
How did you know? That's
I
so
mean, yeah.
specific. I actually
it could be something. I mean, I don't know, something I don't know about.
I started rewatching Letterkenny again.
Oh,
So
there you
I'm
go.
in like season 4 of that
Right.
just for the fuck of it. And I watched a bunch of like blooper reels and behind the scenes and shit. So they're talking to
Right.
the staff. I don't know. I just love those guys so fucking much, and it's cool to like learn more about how they actually are in real life too. I
That's cool.
consume that kind of shit. I've been trying to play Call of Duty with the guys, but my new computer has a compatibility issue with it, and like it's like sometimes I'll be playing and then we'll get into a game, and it'll take a long time for all of us to get organized and get into a game sometimes, and then my game will just crash, and then they're out of man on a team, on a 4-man team. They only got 3 guys. And it's going to be like 45 minutes until they're done with that match, you know? And it's like, so they can either all leave and I can jump back in again and see if it happens. But usually
Right.
I'm just like, you guys just play. I'll
Yeah.
just fucking come in the next time if
Right.
it works,
Yeah, if
you
I
know?
see it. Yeah.
So like the old Call of Duty, if you got kicked, you could get an invite and jump back into your game, and it was like that with PUBG.
PUBG
also.
does that too,
PUBG.
Chuck.
So
Nerd.
yes.
That's Chuck.
Players Underground battle or what is it? Players Underground.
Player Unknown's Battleground.
Yeah, Player Unknown's Battleground. So PUBG, if you get booted, you can get an invite and come back in and be part of your team. Not with Call of Duty. Call of Duty, once you're booted, that's it. You're out. So I play it too, but I play Xbox.
Well, that's because it is a console game that got ported over to PC. The console players are not experiencing that problem.
Yeah.
But I am.
I don't. Yeah, we don't have those.
And the thing is I just got this new rig from a buddy of mine, and it fucking runs the game so good that I'm actually a viable ally now on your team. Like I'm still the worst member on your team for sure, but I can have fun now. And but yeah, it's that, and they like to play the game mode I don't like to play. They like to play the Warzone one, and I don't like that one.
I like to play.
I like Plunder.
I like Plunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to play, dude.
Dude, Plunder's fucking
We got to
bad.
play.
If it works, I would
So,
love to.
If you guys want to join me on any
wow.
of the platform, I guess you can't see it.
Why don't you put it in the chat?
I guess you're not gonna.
Put it in the chat, Chris.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know if that's gonna be. Oh,
Right there.
There it is.
That's my gamer tag. Death Deal X Death X Deal X. Did I?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not even high, dude.
fuck that up.
Here, just put it in the fucking
It
chat,
says-
dude.
Yeah, it's X Death Deal X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I do that? Fuck, dude.
Epic fail.
I think I'm always a little
I
bit
think
high.
you're a little high, yeah.
Always a little bit high, dude.
Perma-stoned.
No, you got to put an X in the.
Oh, it's 3 X's now?
Yeah, 3
All right.
X's, dude.
Well, then you
There's
should-
not a 69 in there. I mean, I felt like there should have been.
Yeah, there should have been.
like that.
I'm a old school gamer,
Like that,
dude.
right?
That's
that
right.
Okay. Wow. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Fuck it.
You forgot the X at the end too, Jack.
Nerd X.
Dude,
You did.
It should be triple
Oh,
X
shit.
Nerd 69420.
There it is.
that's
See?
the fucking- would've
I
been-
like that one.
That would have been the ultimate.
Definitely
gamer
a
tag.
420 in there.
So you
Jesus
guys can
Christ,
join
yeah.
me, like if you guys want to play Call of Duty, if you guys want to jump in with me.
Yeah, if you're a virgin and you want to get on there, get there.
Yeah, no,
Get
because
after
I've never
it.
had sex before with anybody
See?
besides myself.
He just admitted it. Now.
Yeah. So
You heard-
if you want to
you
do
heard it
that,
first.
if you want to do that, join me and we can get a game.
Any other
going.
TV shows you guys been watching? I know you just said Letterkenny. You've been going back through. Anything else?
Yeah, I already rewatched Family Guy. Like all fucking
All of
like
it.
15
Like,
seasons.
Right.
or
all
whatever.
of it.
You know
All
what's
of it,
funny
yeah.
is we were just talking about that this morning at work. One of the guys is such a super huge fan. He wrote Seth MacFarlane, and Seth MacFarlane like ripped a piece of paper off of whatever he's doing. He drew Stewie, and he said thanks, thanks Ricardo, and sent it to him.
Oh, that's so cool.
Dude, that was like the fucking coolest thing I ever seen.
That would
dude.
make my life.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know. You know what I'm afraid of? Like I would love to meet those guys because they're-
Never meet your heroes, Jamie.
That's what I'm afraid of. Because you know what's gonna happen is like they're not gonna agree with me politically or something, and then they're gonna hate me, and I'm just gonna be crushed, and like that would fucking suck so bad.
Yeah.
That's why I'm afraid to get into like talks with people on Twitter, because you can tweet your fucking favorite comedians and shit, but like Bill Burr replied to me one time. He's one of my
Are you
favorite
serious?
comedians. Yeah,
Yeah, you
but,
told this story.
But I'm
I don't
like an
remember.
idiot because he's this movie's called WTF. What's that mean? Like, what's that all about? And I'm like, it stands for what the fuck. And so he's like, so the movie's about what the fuck? And I'm like, all right, I already feel like an idiot. So
Got trolled.
great. I was like, great. I'm doing
Maybe.
a bang up job here. I finally got to talk to one of my favorite comedians, and he just made me feel
Ripped
like
on
a
you.
fucking idiot.
And
But,
he just clowned you.
but I deserved it. It is what it is. So that's what I'm afraid of. I'm like, I hold these guys in such high regard, and then like they finally interact with you, and it's that was
not what you think.
Yeah, I was like, nah,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I was hoping for.
Me and shout out to Bo. We started watching Justified, so I've already seen it all.
Oh,
We got through. We're in the beginning half of season 2.
I think I've watched like
So,
1 or 2 episodes
pretty
of that.
good show.
I remember liking it, but I just never, for whatever reason, I couldn't.
It's
I didn't
a
follow it.
U.S. Marshal guy, so it's a pretty cool show.
Yeah, it's Timothy Oliphant.
Some
right?
cool gun shit, and a lot of the
Think so.
dialogue's really cool. So
I'm not a real big cop show guy.
neither am I,
Yeah.
but that show's amazing.
But it's a little more Wild Westy,
Yeah,
right?
it's
like
way more
kind
that
of,
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like old Wild West sheriff.
It's called Westwood, I guess. I don't.
Westworld?
Westwood.
Is that what? No, really? Is that the name of it?
So that's what you said, right, Johnny? Is Westwood the name of the show?
No. I said Justified.
Justified. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about that show, but yeah, Justified is the one I'm talking about.
Justified.
But it's pretty cool. I like it. It's
Yeah.
one of the only TV shows I own the whole season.
Do you have the box set?
No, I just bought them all as they
okay.
came out. Kind of.
Gotcha.
I think there's 6 of them or something like that. But yeah, it's
That's
a pretty good show.
That's
You'd like
true
it.
fandom right there. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
buy them as they're getting released.
Oh, dude, yeah. Well, 2 of them I ordered together, the last 2, but yeah, nonetheless.
Tacoma FD. Is that your gamer tag? I'm sure it is.
Some
Making fun of
variation
me.
it.
I knew he was a nerd too.
Oh yeah, Chuck's a nerd for sure. He's into all the same
so
shit we are.
my buddy Patrick here, he did give me a thumbs up when I posted him the link and said that I thought he was going to come by, but he I don't know. He gave me a thumbs up, and that was like 10 minutes ago, and he's still not in the chat. So.
All right. Well,
A show. It's a show.
Tacoma
I don't
FD.
know.
Oh, Tacoma Fire Department. That's isn't that the Broken Lizard one? It's because I've seen it's got like Farva and Mac, I think, from Super Troopers. Well, it's probably the whole crew. Yeah, it is a Super Trooper, guys. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
oh, I think I've seen ads for that. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty funny, right? I haven't seen any of it. Maybe I'll check it out.
I'll watch anything the Broken Lizard guys do because they're great in my opinion.
Yeah.
I finally saw Super Troopers 2, like a couple months ago.
And
It was fine, but that's all I got.
Oh,
for it.
we were going
Yeah.
to talk about. So I recently watched a Joker movie.
oh yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, did you like that one?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Trash.
But
It kind of
But
just ended abruptly for me. I was like,
Trash.
what the fuck happened?
go ahead
No.
and explain why you like it and everything. Yeah, give your take.
I liked it because of the. I really liked what's his name in it? Who's the main guy?
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash.
No, not Johnny Cash. Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix. I think he did a really good job. Not playing the Joker, playing somebody with mental illness, but yeah, I thought he did the transition from being told that he was different and that he needed to be medicated when it was just his personality, and when he came off of that and transitioned into the Joker, I thought that was I think he did a really good job doing that transition. Not being the Joker, but becoming the other person.
I have to watch it again. I
there was
remember
really-
it being like, okay.
There was really like a
I saw it and I was like, this
there
is
was
trash.
really a shift change in like a dynamic shift change in his
So for
persona.
me,
well, it's
what
it's
you're saying
character
is
arc.
Right.
all
right.
I saw was him being crazy to being a different kind of crazy. That was all I saw, and I didn't really.
No, for me. It was a little bit more than that. It really was because it was him being told he was a certain way by the people around him, and then once he got rid or shedded that, then his true self came forward, and he was always crazy. That's the thing. He was always crazy.
But they
They were
established that
trying-
from the beginning. Of
They
the
were
movie that
trying
he's
to make
crazy.
him.
He's walking around with a card saying I'm retarded or whatever. I
don't-
laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, he said that he had a condition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I'm sorry if my outbursts
Yeah.
Disturb you or something. Yeah.
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
So he was
so-
a nutcase, and then he became a different nutcase that killed people. That was the only difference.
So really quick,
it wasn't that simple
And
for
he
me.
had some weird
TJ
creepiness with his mom.
TJ chimed in. He said he's been watching Castle Rock, Solar Opposites, and Haunting of Hill House, and he's playing Resident Evil 3 and Dark Souls. Justified is underrated, he said. So that's all right.
Yeah, it's
He's
a
into it.
fucking good one, man.
Solar Opposites, I started watching. That's the new show created by the same creators of Rick and Morty.
Oh, I've heard about this.
So
yeah, I've
I'll
heard
tell you
about
this: it's fucking great,
Mhm.
but
It's not Rick
it's
and Morty.
not Rick and Morty.
That's what everyone
So
said.
yeah, if you go into it thinking that, you're gonna have a great time.
Right.
If you go into it wanting Rick and Morty, you're gonna be
It's
upset.
just like, you know how they created The Simpsons and then the same guys made the
Futurama.
South Park. Yeah.
South Park. I was like, "Are you okay?"
yeah, you're
Took
fucking
me a
with
second. I was like, "God damn it, Johnny!"
It's a different show.
Completely different show. But yeah, it's
but
good.
yeah, you're right. That's Futurama is what.
Resident Evil 3. Yeah.
Future.
Castle Rock. I don't think I've seen House.
Because can we not? Oh, I don't know if we all can agree on this, but I think Futurama is way better than The Simpsons.
I do too.
Hands down.
Okay, so we're on the same page on that.
Yeah,
one.
I like The Simpsons, and The Simpsons holds a very special place in my heart because, like,
They're kind of the first ones. to
they
really-
were,
yeah.
and I remember not being allowed to watch it as a kid
Ooh.
because Bart would say, "What the hell,"
What
know,
the
or
hell,
something
man?
like that. Yeah, so stuff like that. The Simpsons was a coming of
That's
age
awesome.
thing for me. You know what I mean? So it's always back there, and I have friends that absolutely love The Simpsons, but I think
Yeah,
Family Guy
Chuck's
is
right.
better than The Simpsons. I think Futurama is better than The Simpsons,
Mhm.
but I'll never.
South
I'll
Park,
never not
Rick
give
and
The
Morty's
Simpsons the
better.
credit that they deserve. They are the
Yeah.
longest running show on television, and they deserve fucking something for that.
I can't watch The Simpsons, man. I can't sit through a whole episode of The
I
Simpsons.
can't do The Simpsons, and I can not anymore. I mean, when it first came out, yeah, I could
Yeah,
watch
when
it.
I was a
Couple
kid, yeah,
seasons,
sure.
yeah. And I can't do Family Guy. I know you guys love it, but I can't do it.
Dude, it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
It is
I
what
just
it
can't
is.
do it. I've
Yeah.
tried it a bunch of times.
That's the thing is like I've always been about that. Like I'm like, oh, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Like who gives a shit? Just try not to shit on it. In front of me a whole lot.
all the time.
Because I'll be upset. Yeah, because it'll make me cry a little bit, and then that's no good for anybody watching a grown man cry.
Tim, you watch anything right now? You're kind of watching that's worthy of nothing, or any movies or anything? Nothing. No.
He says,
Oh, he was actually watching Westworld. What's kind of the concept of that, real quick? Just give me a short version. I'll relay it. Theme park robots. Oh, it's all. Oh, okay. So it's all robot kind of thing. What's kind of the backdrop? Utopian kind of thing, or it is based
Yeah.
on.
But it's kind of apocalyptic, though,
So-
isn't it?
Okay, so it became apocalyptic.
so
'cause
if
robots
I
took
remember
over.
correctly, it's
I don't know
sort
anything
of
really about
like
it.
it's a theme park, right? But it's kind of like it's this dream vacation type thing where you can go and live like out in the old Wild West, and it's all
based on
it's all,
a '70s movie. Chuck said
it's all like it's all period accurate, and the reason why they're robots is because like sometimes you're gonna have to duel people in the streets and shit. Is that about right?
Ooh.
So the guns know.
So they're
who
smart
you're
guns.
firing at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, if you're shooting at a robot or a human. Oh,
Ah,
and the robots
okay.
got tired of losing, is what he said.
I
So
see.
it kind of
Okay.
it turns on them, basically.
So there was
Oh,
there
okay.
was a movie before.
In the '70s, based in the '70s.
Oh, okay, based on. I'm sorry, say that again.
Same
Yeah.
guy that made
Oh, okay.
Jurassic Park. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Michael Crichton.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And then
cool.
we had TJ
Didn't know
pop
anything
in.
about
He
it.
said Futurama and American Dad are better than their counterparts. American Dad is
Oh,
another
yeah,
one.
that's another one we've heard.
I don't think American
I never
Dad
really
is
watched
better.
it.
I like it about the same, but for different reasons. Family Guy is Seth MacFarlane's show that he's like, if it's funny, just fucking run it, put it in there. It doesn't have to make sense at all. Whereas American Dad, they're still retaining a little bit of their like, it's sort of kind of feasible. Like they go off on the ridiculous jokes and gags and like they're just out there less than Family Guy does. Family Guy is like, yeah, if it's funny, fucking run it. American Dad's a little, like not much, mind you. There's still an alien that lives in the dude's attic. You know, that's super realistic, right? But it is what it is. Like they
Talking
do,
fish.
yeah, they do a little bit like it's a little more.
What's the one on Netflix? The one with the
coherent.
hormone monsters? Is that the Loudmouth?
Big Mouth?
Big Mouth.
That
That's what
was
it was.
great.
That was good.
Dude, you showed me that one, and I was like, this is fucking gold. South Park ripped on the Family Guy. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah, I think
no,
they both have done that.
Well, I don't know. It depends on who came out first because Family Guy was released in 1998, and I would say that we actually would be hard pressed to see if South Park came out. I think South Park might have come out first. I remember them like as far back in 96, 97.
I was even young when it came
Yeah.
out. So fuck. I know that Family Guy came out later, so I just don't know. I don't know the years.
Space Force. I've been wanting to fucking try
I had
that
two
out.
people talk to me about that so far. You were
I
one
heard
of them.
somebody just be like, "Oh, total trash," but like, there's so many people that are going to say that about everything. I'm like, "Hey, just check it
That's
out. Check it out for yourself."
That's the 40-year-old version guy,
Oh,
right?
Trent watched it,
yeah,
What-
it is.
What's his name?
and he was like,
Steve Carell.
"It was
Steve
okay."
Carell. Yeah.
But
yeah.
I watched the whole thing. Like,
Yeah,
so it held him.
I-
Yeah.
You know, I don't watch a lot of
40-year-old virgin?
a lot of television. So I don't. You know, I know some of the older shows, but anything that's new that's come out over the last few years, I really don't know about it because I'm
You're more of a movie and video game guy.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. If I'm gonna do something with my television, it's gonna be gaming.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'm out.
The occasional
doing
movie.
Stuff. Yeah, because my wife, you know,
She likes the movies and stuff.
she likes
Yeah.
movies, and I like her, so I'm gonna watch a movie.
Well, there's that.
There's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Me,
So-
Jamie's just like, yep.
that checks out.
Mhm.
Can confirm.
You're a nerd. He's just picking on you today.
I know.
Yeah.
What the
Chucky
heck,
Poo.
dude? I'm not a nerd, but I love Snoopy.
You are a fucking nerd.
I am a nerd.
Get out of here. We're all fucking nerds. I'm wearing an X-Force shirt.
Yeah, Tim.
I'm wearing my Snoopy shirt today.
You're
Tom
a-
Selleck.
Fucking
This
Jamie's
is the
the
greatest
least nerd
Snoopy
on the show
character
right
of
now.
all times.
Because
by
you're
the way.
wearing a Freedom First shirt, and it used to be hat. So you're way less nerdy.
I'm the most undercover nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Little does anyone know.
At least
like-
on the show today.
yeah, right.
Visually, of course.
Oh man.
we know it's
so
all
Tim,
love, man.
The,
I know.
the 1980s
fucking with
Magnum
you,
PI
bro.
with Tom.
Thank
it's
you.
Tom Selleck, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I remember one time
He
I
had
was
the
at-
Hawaiian shirts before the
Damn,
Boogaloo.
dude.
Yeah.
I was looking for.
Hey, hold
like-
up. I
Oh,
was in the
okay.
middle of saying
Sorry. Really, go ahead.
So I remember one time I was at a bar. I was at a local one here in town, and I went up to the bartenders after we were already having a good time at this place, and I go, I need you to make me a Tom Selleck. He's like, what? I was like, just think of the mustache, and that's what I want. This motherfucker fills up a pint glass with ice and just pours it to the brim with fucking whiskey, and is like, it was Kessler. He's like, there you go.
Well played, sir.
I was like, that's a Tom Selleck if I ever saw one.
Yeah, right? I mean, fuck, dude.
Porn stash.
Slide you a little cigar in an ashtray.
Right?
There you go. Have at it.
That would have been perfect.
Nice, man.
Oh, it was good though. It was local bartender. I don't want to say his name on
No.
but he's a local guy.
That's cool.
But
So I've been looking since we have to wear masks, right, at work. I ordered a specific one. I was looking for a Tom Selleck shirt, a Hawaiian shirt mask. I could not find it, dude.
oh,
But I
That's
did.
racist.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm racist against Tom Selleck. Shirt.
okay.
Shirt.
You're not following the story. So the anyone that was wearing the Hawaiian Boogaloo style, it's like a little style. They wear the Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
tactical
Yeah,
gear.
yeah.
So they were saying that they're all racist, and they actually had pictures of a bunch of them standing in front of businesses saying Black Lives Matter or like, fuck the cops or
Yeah.
whatever, and they're holding the same signs, but they're protecting the business,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're wearing the Hawaiian shirts with the tactical gear. And the media was reporting that it was racism.
What the fuck?
Nice.
That's
Like,
widely
wait,
regarded.
The signs literally say "fuck the cops" and "Black Lives Matter." Like, what are you
where
doing?
did you get that from? These signs. They don't say anything
It's because
about
it's
that.
guns. That's what the answer is. It's guns.
Mm.
So that's why I was saying if you had a Hawaiian print mask, you would
Yeah.
get labeled
No, I
as a
do.
racist.
And if
Yeah.
there it is,
Yeah.
Tim,
wait,
come join.
just come over here real quick. Just come over here so you can see. Like,
Yes.
You guys are seeing
yeah, there's Tim
Yeah.
the statist
with the
with his
Detroit
Boogaloo
Tigers
shirt.
with his Detroit Tigers hat on too.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so I was looking for a freaking mask that was that print. Yeah, no, it's really difficult. I would have to order a shirt and cut it up to make a mask. But I did find a cool Hawaiian shirt. A cool Hawaiian mask.
Right.
So I'll go grab that real quick.
Go for it. Yeah, I have a Hawaiian shirt, Tim, that is like one of my boys when I was in a car club. We were all into the old 1950s stuff and all that greaser shit. Yeah, and he got one from Hawaii when he was over there from one of their actual vintage shops, and it's like a tan color one, but it has a little bit of flowers and stuff, very little, but it has all the old school style drinks. One of these days I'm gonna wear it on the podcast because I always want to do that, but I'll probably wear a plate carrier with it. So yeah,
You kind of have to at that point.
At this point, like kind of, I don't know. I love that shirt.
It's
though.
obligatory. The
Yeah.
fucking Hawaiian gear.
I'll
with,
wear like
the-
khaki pants and white Converse and that, and fucking rock a fucking
you
carrier.
gotta get a little wind-up camera around your neck.
Right? Or some white loafers. Watch your foot. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, ruining the behind the scenes.
Cover
ruining
the
magic.
cover the statism. There you go. Thank you.
Ruining the
so,
magic.
So this is what I have to wear.
It
at
looked like a
work.
thong that you held up for a second.
It kind of feels like one.
Oh, it's gonna blur out.
Oh, but it's Hawaiian print though.
Yeah.
There's a little too much green in it somewhere. I can't see it, but apparently
It's like
there
you
is.
cut the boob off of a girl's bathing suit and put it on. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. There you go. I
With
want
this-
Spam
with
and
this-
Mac salad right now.
With all this COVID stuff going on,
What are you hooked on?
Hooked on freedom,
I'm
bro.
hooked on you.
Now you're extra hooked.
Jesus Christ.
There we go.
There it is.
Oh,
Oh,
what the fuck,
focus.
camera?
Ah!
Put your hand up. And there.
There it goes. Jesus Christ.
So with all this,
Was it really worth it? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was
no,
not.
you're all no.
It was not.
Well, the
So-
fucking green screen fucks up everything. So.
Yeah. So we have to go through all kinds of procedures to go in buildings now, right? So what they do is the building we're working in now, I'm working in a tech company.
Yeah, Nice.
They do primarily storage. So think of like a any kind of like storage device or internal storage for a computer. That's where I'm working at.
Hey, yo.
Yo.
You got to hook up on hard drives or?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not that cool, man.
Dang.
We just get to hang out in the buildings.
All right.
So in that building, when you walk in, there's a camera set up, and the camera is connected to a television, and on the television there is it's a heat signature screen, and it takes your temperature. So you take off your hat, you take off your mask, and then you stand there for a second, and it shows you your temperature, both Fahrenheit.
It's all thermal.
Yeah, it's all thermal, right? So, they check your temperature. Then you have to fill out like your address, and you have to give your company name and all that stuff in order to get in the building. You have to do it 3 times. So what it is, it's tracking. It's contact tracking. So everybody who comes into that building, if you bring COVID-19 in, then they'll be able to track you, track the people you worked around, and track their employees in case something happens. I think it's just all more statism, and it's what the state, because it's what the state is making companies do now.
Yeah. Okay. Like that's it. That's the definition of it. If the
Right.
state is making people do it,
Right, it's statism.
well, yeah. I mean, that's not freedom. That's the opposite of what we advocate for around here.
Oh, absolutely, man.
So it
Yeah.
is. Now there's a lot to be said about like. Actually, there's not. They're going to say, "Oh, well, the state is going to implement something for the greater good." Well, I say, fuck
Right.
that. Like, it should be up to the individual to decide what the greatest good is for them.
Always.
That's kind of what our stance has been on this whole thing.
Who can better represent me than me?
Nobody.
Nobody. And that's why it's a big freaking joke, to me anyway, the state running my life.
Yeah.
I was just explaining, Johnny, to the guys that
Sorry, I had to piddle.
the process I have to go through to get into some of these tech buildings. They have like thermal TVs and
Oh yeah.
thermal scanners,
You
stuff
told
like
me privately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you told me about that. Yeah.
that. And like all the paperwork we have to
The
fill out.
countermeasures.
We have to document. We have to give them our name and address and phone number and like everything but your social security number, basically, so they can track you.
You're like, I didn't know I was filing for a fucking bank loan here.
Serious,
What the fuck?
man. Like 3 different times we have to do. We have to do it for my company. We have to do it for.
I always waive the temperature thing and just say, can you do it orally?
No,
So,
dude.
yeah.
No, the best way to get your temperature is rectally.
No.
So that's how they do it.
Mhm.
No, just kidding. It's
There's
thermal.
a back room.
It's
for
thermal
that.
scanner.
Mhm.
Yeah, one fist.
Gloves not necessary.
Yeah, so that's
Optional.
that's kind of like the what we're having to go through, and everything. I mean, nobody's getting. Is anybody getting sick anymore? I mean,
Probably, but whatever.
I have not gotten sick,
no, I haven't either,
so I don't know.
and I haven't really been quarantined. I mean, for like the first 2 weeks, I quarantined. But after that, it was like, what's the point? And I've been out working this whole time, so
Yeah.
So you weren't
That's not
quarantined, really?
quarantining then, because
No.
I've been working too.
no.
whole time.
I worked. I didn't work for 2 weeks, and then after that,
I mean, if you go to the store, if you leave your house, you're really not.
that's the thing too. We didn't quarantine. We were out. We went to the store. We went. I think we went on a drive or something. But I mean, we interacted with people,
Mhm.
and I mean, I never got sick.
And everybody's fine. Weird.
You all know how I feel. Watch our first live stream. It stayed the same the whole time.
Yep. It fucking has.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I guess.
And just like that, the show's over.
Yep. Well, I guess.
What else do you guys got?
I guess my
Anything
buddy's
else?
not going to show up
Yeah,
here.
I guess
so.
not. We waited for a while.
Yeah, we did.
Let's just do a little gear, not gear, but like brand horse shit. We've talked about this before, but is there a brand that you just like kind of like for some weird reason the inner chick in you, like you just always buy that one brand? For me, I'll just say real quick, it's Oakley's, and if it's jeans, it's Levi's, and if it's fucking shoes, it's Converse.
I
Do
was
you have
gonna
anything like that?
I do. I was going to go sunglasses too,
Okay.
because right now the brand that I'm stuck with is Hoven. And I've been buying this one ever since I found this one frame. I've just owned that exact same pair over and over and over. I just buy a new one.
Do you have a shoe that you just stick with, or you're just pretty open on that?
Lately, it's been the Etnies Valk style shoe. But
I don't even know what that is.
I went away from those
Sounds
ones,
contagious.
and I got my first pair I'm wearing right now. My first pair of Adidas 3 stripes.
Ooh, those
I
are
had
sexy.
never had a pair, so I always wanted a pair.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Me and Chuck rocked those Adidas for quite a while.
Oh yeah. But my go-to like when I was in high school, like go-to
Vans?
was Vans, yeah, and
Same.
then.
I did that a lot.
But I didn't really have an allegiance towards one. Like I was into the skater brand, so like it was all
So
Osiris.
Only
Etnies,
your
DBS.
sunglasses were your like brand that you're like kind of a whore for. Like, you're
Yeah,
just like,
It was Spy when I worked at No Fear, and then it was all Spy, and then eventually a buddy of mine showed up with a pair of Hovens, and he was a tall, thin dude like me, and they were just these big fucking shields, and I loved them, and I've just bought those ever since. And because I have a huge fucking nose, they look pretty. They look okay on me.
Yeah, when I found out Delta Force wore Oakleys is when I kind of became sold on Oakleys. Just being honest.
Okay.
And then I bought some, and then I was like, I love the. Then no, fuck Chuck Norris. We've already been through this. We've been through this on the show. Chuck Norris sucks.
yeah, that's exactly what it was, Tim.
Yeah. Just Black Hawk down. Delta wears Oakleys.
Chuck Norris, Delta Force.
Ugh.
Remember when he had that motorcycle with the
With the
rockets on the
rockets.
front? Fuck yeah, dude.
I hate.
Freedom.
I hate every Chuck Norris movie.
Yo.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Jim said that was the most realistic military movie he's ever
Hey,
seen.
except for there's gotta be one Chuck Norris that you don't absolutely hate, and I gotta say it's gotta be Sidekicks. You remember that one?
Hated it.
Did you really?
Mm.
Oh, that movie was tight.
Yeah, but you're younger. You got to remember that.
Yeah. Like I'm sure that
It
movie.
was like Three Ninjas.
Yeah, kind
Same
of.
era.
It's like it's the whole like this kid like gets bullied and then he learns karate
What
and
were
then
the
he
Three
becomes
Ninjas
good.
names, Jamie?
I know all of them.
What are they? I know Tum Tum. That's the only one I know.
Yeah, Rocky and Mule were the other two.
Oh, see, I didn't even remember that. That's awesome.
Rocky, Mule, and Tum Tum. Yep. Awesome. God damn it! I'm not proud of that.
That's crazy. That's
used-
all right. You're younger, bro. That's your era.
The second one was called The Three Ninjas Knuckle Up. Like it was
Oh,
the second
shit.
one.
See, I
Oh,
didn't
that's
know nothing
right.
about
That's
that, bro.
right.
That's cool.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. For me and Tim and what's his face over here, Lions. We were more about what like Crowdy Kid and
Yeah.
like that was more our era.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
for
the
that
three
kind of style.
ninjas or surf,
then Ninja Turtles
surf
came on
ninjas.
the
Remember
scene.
surf ninjas with Tone Loc?
Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah, Ernie Reyes Jr.
Right there, Chuck said
To-
it.
Oh, I
I
own.
love that movie.
I only own American Ninja 4, and it's so bad. But I think I told this story or this scene one time. The one dude's like kind of trying to rescue the other American Ninja because there became two of them, and he's sneaking around and he's got this black duffel bag and there's a little like hole in the ground like a foxhole, and he throws his duffel bag in it and he jumps in. And then he jumps back out, full ninja kitted out. Like, I'm talking a matter of 1 or 2 seconds. Just boom,
Hell
boom.
yeah.
It was like Naked Gun or Airplane or something.
Yeah,
or
and
like
there's one
of those.
other cool scene. He's in a tunnel and he's being held by 2 ninjas like this, and he's like trying to get away from them. And then this other ninja pops up and he's got a bow and he fires it and he catches it in his teeth. And then he stabs the one guy in the neck and then takes out the other guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes! Horribly
Fucking
awesome.
Ninja, bro.
American
guys-
Ninja 4, highly recommended by Johnny Doe.
Totally ninja.
Do you guys remember Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley?
Yeah.
I own that one.
That one was hilarious.
But that's different.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
was
Comedy.
Like, remember when Ernie Reyes Jr. had his own TV show?
Sidekicks.
Was it?
Well, Sidekicks was the Chuck Norris movie that I just mentioned.
Oh, I thought it was
he
called
might have had
Sidekicks, wasn't it?
No.
I don't remember
Oh,
his
then it's
show.
called something else.
No,
I don't
he-
remember his show.
He had his own
Yeah.
show.
It was like an older white cop who was his stepdad or something, and he was this little like ninja guy.
Like Little Ninja Kid.
yeah,
right?
Like
Yeah.
Taekwondo
Yeah.
master.
yeah, and he would beat up like adults
Yeah.
and
I
shit
can't
like
remember.
That.
I thought it was.
That was pretty
But
awesome.
it's not. Maybe.
Maybe it is. Maybe they shared a name.
Yeah.
I don't remember. That show
But
was before my
I've
time.
met Ernie Reyes Jr. a few
Yeah.
times.
Have you really?
Yeah.
I
I
still
told the
say
story. I was at a park with all the West Coast crew. That was the name of their West Coast Taekwondo was
Yeah.
their school.
Oh,
One of my
yeah.
neighbors is a black belt there and instructor and shit back in the day. And we were all at a park and we were playing volleyball. And we all got distracted for a second, except for Ernie Reyes Jr., who spiked a volleyball in my fucking head. And it was the first time I ever saw stars.
Nice.
So he's got some strength.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
He's a little guy.
Yeah.
He's stocky and everything. But
Chuck says that the TV show was called Sidekicks.
oh,
also.
so there I
Oh, was it?
I
Oh.
was correct.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that show, and then like that was like the ultimate tactical show for me was the A-Team.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimate. Dude, that was the best show ever.
How you get a Mini 30 and you fire thousands of rounds and they all hit the dirt.
Yeah, I never
I
got
love that
into that show.
Well, it was our era.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was like always on, and then what was it? Magnum PI, Fall Guy. Remember Fall Guy?
Yeah,
Tim?
Fall Guy. I remember Fall Guy.
Chips was on all the time. There's all those shows, Dukes of Hazzard, all that stuff. But yeah, it was a good era. That was a good time. I had fun watching TV back
Oh,
then.
that's right. Ernie
Never
Reyes Jr. was in the rundown
Oh yeah, he was.
with The Rock
Yeah.
and
he was playing a South American, a
yeah,
Filipino guy.
Yeah, he was playing South
Yeah.
American.
That's right. I
Cra-
remember that.
crazy ass
The
South
Muhammad
American.
Ali thing. What he was
Swinging
quoting.
from tree to tree, punching people in the face.
That was kind of a fun movie, actually.
That was. Remember those dudes had those whips?
Mm.
And
A
they were
little
just-
thunder, a little lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that you remember that part.
It's my thing.
Sure, get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so we didn't get our little conversation we wanted to have, but that's all right. We'll see if we can have him join in the chat next time.
Or not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, we just-
Or whatever. Yeah.
It was just interesting to have someone that wanted
Yeah.
to ask us questions
Yeah.
live because we don't
Yeah.
we don't really get a whole
Yeah.
lot of that.
Yeah.
So
All righty, I think we're good, right?
I'm good.
We're over. Yeah, we're almost
I'm
2.
good.
yep,
So
I'm good.
All right, guys. Well,
so give them a little shirt plug and our social media, Jamie, please.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in getting some of the Grim 86 merch, we've got a shirt that has our awesome Grim logo on the back here, made by was it Cimmerian Barbarian in the chat there?
mm-hmm.
TJ is his name, and
Yep.
he's the one who did this artwork
Awesome
for us.
design. Lean
Yeah.
one way or the other, Chris, real quick.
Let him see the skull face there.
Amazing. Look at this beautiful thing.
It's super
Isn't
detailed.
that so sexy? Well,
And when you can see
this
the whole
is too.
logo, there's a lot of this like pinstriping and stuff is more intricate and it goes down towards the bottom of the
Yeah,
logo.
yeah,
So there's
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Chris.
now you get both sides of it.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
so you guys can check it out. It's at shop.spreadshirt.com/grim86. You guys can go there and take a look. We got all little stuff. You can buy buttons and mouse pads and tote bags and stuff like that too. You don't have to spend a bunch of money. Brand new Freedom First shirt, again, is devoid of all the podcast branding. So if you just want a shirt that says Freedom First and maybe start getting people talking about it, then you can have those conversations too. You too can make it difficult to go out in public and talk about politics for yourself.
Right.
So, and then obviously if you guys are watching this on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook too. We're also on Facebook as the Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. So please make sure that you're checking us out there so you don't miss anything.
Like, subscribe, and share. Hit the bell notification so you guys know when we're on. This has been a great show. This is episode 2 of season 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
2-2.
You guys ready?
Yup.
Yeah, we are out of here. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of Grim 86 Freedom First podcast. Thank you so much. Remember, don't trust your leaders.
And taxation is still theft.
We out.
Bye.